welcome to the online schooling and parenting session by a very well-known person, John Pradeep. John, firstly, thank you very much for accepting this invitation and doing this session for us. I know this topic, online schooling and parenting, this is so relevant, and let's start with the session. Firstly, hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining this session, the viewers and audience. Just to give a little bit of introduction of John. John is first theater-based life coach with a decade of experience with parents and children. And he uses most of the theater-based methodologies to coach children with fun and energy. One thing I really like what he believes, which enabling parents to coach their own children in the most effective and effective way of coaching the children. John, this is what you believe in.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Nilima. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I'm very, very glad that I am doing this live here. This is my new area of interest as such for me, because schools have started only like 2 weeks back. And I have been telling, like during the lockdown, I've been telling a bedtime story to children every night at 9 o'clock. So every night at 9 o'clock, I go on YouTube. And you can, but I've done 100 episodes right now, and I have given it a break for a week now. I will start again in the next week.
Great number of bedtime stories. But just adding to that, I think for some people, this pandemic might be a little, I don't know what to say, a very, very difficult phase. But you said sometime back that this is a very, what you say, you say that is a blessing in disguise or something like that.
Yeah, because my work typically was traveling to schools across India, doing deliveries there, coming back. So most of my time was gone on travel only, and I didn't actually have so much time for me to do a lot of other work. But right now, right after the lockdown started, I said in 2 days I was sitting at home. I couldn't sit, so I said let me launch a workshop online. And then I started off with online. Then I found all those time that I used to travel, I'm sitting at home right now. So can I do something online? So I established my online profile, and day before yesterday, I checked saying if you put my name on Google, it's automatically suggests. If you go John Prad, it will suggest my full name, my bedtime stories, my work with children, all of it. So that way, Google has started recognizing me now because of this lockdown.
A big shout out to you then. That's a fantastic thing, which very few people think that, like even my husband also think that this, whatever this lockdown, shutdown, or whatever it is happening is one way good. It's for a few people, it's one way good. I think right away now with John, most of the parents just, with everything almost shut down, and they are finding it very difficult to deal with this session. To open the note, open this discussion, what is the message that you would want to, give out to these parents right now?
So if I would like to start from I would like to divide this lockdown period into two phases. Okay, so the first lockdown period was the initial time when we started off with lockdown and people said stay at home and be all of that. Second period is when the online school started. So these are the two places where I think all the parents started panicking. So initial lockdown period, I have a WhatsApp parent support network, it's called, where all the parents were like sharing a lot of things with respect to how do I keep my child engaged, what all activities can I do, what all how do I manage my child's mental health, and all of those things. A lot of information got shared. After some 2 weeks, all these messages got died down slowly. And then I asked the parents saying, hey guys, all these forwards are not coming right now. What does that mean? And everybody said, hey, children have gotten used to it. So they are like on their own right now. They are doing a lot of things at home, not much of trouble. They found their own entertainment. All of that slowly happened. Same kind of panic started when the online school happened. Again, everybody's like, what do we log into? Where do we log into? We don't know how this will work. Teacher will sit there and teach. Should I sit near with the children? All of that. That Monday, I very clearly remember all like we were also very nervous sitting, and my daughter going online on Google Meets and teacher talking, and 15 minutes we were all like fingers crossed, what is going to happen? After 15 minutes, I see the class is going seamlessly. Like teacher is as always teaching, children are as always learning. All of this is happening. So that way, what I found right now is children right now are very, very fluid in nature, and they are saying, "Bring it on, we will take it. You don't have to tell me this is new, this is difficult. I don't know how this is going to go. Just give me, I will see how it's."
Children, they adapt easily to anything compared to we adults, right?
Yeah, yes. So that one has like it's been proved very, very clearly right now. Like teachers also, when they started teaching, they were like, I distinctly remember one teacher always shouting, saying, "Children, be quiet. Children, be quiet. I need to continue with the class." And after 2 days, she started saying, "Children, mute yourselves." And that's one saying, "Oh, now I have a mute button. They can talk. They just have to mute themselves."
Okay.
So that way children are like already catching up to it. I think there's not much to worry about it, about this better delivery of online classes. I think it's okay. It's happening, it's going good. Yeah.
With children constantly being around at home, with this one, is there anything that we'll come back to the teachers part a little later, but with the parents, how do they engage the children in this scenario? How is I'm not talking especially about the online classes that we'll do, but with constantly being around them, they cannot go outside. That's the most difficult part for the children, where they cannot even step out. And with how do we keep these children engaged at home? How do you, with so much of experience, you are into so many things like theater, mime, plays, and everything. What is that? Do you want to tell parents how to keep the children engaged?
Okay, so taking a little bit from the previous answer that I told you, saying children are capable of engaging themselves. But what happens is we tell them saying, "Hey, I am there for you. I will take care of you. I will do whatever you want to do," and all of that. Because we convey that message to them, they come back to you and say, "I am feeling bored. I don't know what to do. Tell me what has to be done. Come play with me. Just you put your work down and come here." That's what children are asking for. So why are they asking for? Because we only told them saying, "Hey, I will take care of you. I will spend time with you," and all that. So, but like there is the other entirely other opposite concept here, saying, children, let them be bored. When they are bored and when they cry about it and they still keep thinking, saying, "What do I do now? What do I do now? What do I do now?" They will come up with their own activities to engage themselves. So what am I saying here? Do not give instant answers. Don't tell saying, "Oh, you don't like this, take the mobile phone. You don't like the mobile phone, go play that. Go, you don't like that, go play this one." You don't have to tell them. Just wait for them to figure out by themselves. Like the kind of games my daughter has come up with during this lockdown. I'll give you an example of a game. I am on back-to-back webinars every day, so I can't be spending much time with her. So there's one game that she has where she takes all the storybooks from the rack, puts it on the floor, and builds a story city, like houses of different sizes and shapes. Her dolls are all there inside the houses, and she keeps building it on her own. And she does not need anybody's guidance for that. She just does it by herself. So likewise, there's another game, when we were small also we used to play, where we put the blanket over us and snuggle and all that, with parents, with siblings and all that. Yeah. So now she says, she one day came and said, "Hey, I am the shark, so I am in the sea on the bed, where I am the fisherman." So John is the fisherman, goes and catches the fish, and then the shark is escaping from there. And we both are like snuggling and like cuddling and doing all of it. And she finally picks the net to herself and the shark escapes. Okay. We did the same thing some 150 times and she's still not bored. That age group, if they like something, they do it multiple times also. It's not that you have to give them new things every time.
And basically let children just do what they want during this point. Don't restrict them with anything, and let them just go and do anything what they want, basically.
Not just restricting them, but don't give them an immediate solution. Wait for them to figure out a solution. So if you give them an immediate solution, they'll get exhausted with that. They'll come back and ask, "What next? Give me the next one." When they figure it out, they are proud of it. They will do it by themselves and all of that. Yeah. So that was the learning for me here. Saying like, and when I play with her also, I surely play at least 2 hours per day with her after everything gets over. But when I play with her also, I am not leading the game. This is her game. She asks me to do it with her, along with her. Even if it does not make any sense, I'm playing it with her.
You are a parent, every situation or every parent story is different. What has been your biggest learning during this, spending time with your daughter, and what has been your biggest learning during this time?
My biggest learning is this: children are capable, they are fluid. Don't worry, just leave it. They will figure out. That's my, if you have to tell me, if I have to tell you in one sentence, don't worry, they will figure out. That's my biggest learning.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, as I told you, children, they easily adapt to situations, and they need something constantly to keep them engaged, right? Okay,
Yeah.
now coming back to teachers, teachers also are facing this kind of, what you say, it's something, online classes are new to them, and like how you said, they're on a mute button right now. What is that to cope up the kind of stress with this online thing? What is that the teacher should be doing at this moment?